All right.
All right, guys, welcome. Rob and Melissa here with Flip Market Flipper. We are stoked for our call tonight, guys. Tonight we are jumping into LetGo. We did Offer Up last week. This week we're going to jump into LetGo. There's a lot of similarities between them. And yeah, once you have two of them, actually we're going to get through this whole workshop. We're going to go through LetGo, Offer Up, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace. So you have different avenues to be able to jump into and source items out of. So we talked
touch a little bit also on thrift stores and flea markets and stuff. Obviously, we can't go to the flea market at 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night, but we're going to talk a little bit about it.
For sure. And that's what Melissa and I are actually talking right before we jumped on here. The thing about local, and you guys had asked, and we talked about some of them last week. We started pulling up some of our flips that we've done throughout the years, trying to find some smaller items, because some of you guys say, hey, we don't have a truck, we don't have this and that. For most of our larger items that we do, it's easier to source them on the app. So we can find great items on the app that people can't ship, they can't do stuff. So they're stuck to their local market, and that's where we jump in, we swoop in, we buy them at the local market, and then we throw them on eBay and we ship them. That's how our business model works. For those, and we still go to the flea market. We do that almost every weekend when we're in town. We do the flea market, we do thrift stores, we do yard sales, all that kind of stuff. For the smaller items, you're going to get better deals on those smaller items at your local venues. So don't discount that. We'll talk about that more. I think on the 6th week, we're actually going to jump into local venues, talking about that a little bit more. But for the smaller items, it's harder to source smaller items on these local apps, Offer Up, LetGo, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of stuff. Because when people jump in there and it's not impossible, but it's a lot harder to do, to get a good deal on that smaller stuff and then actually be able to throw it onto eBay and do it. But like I said, it's not impossible. It's just harder to find the smaller items to do that with. So keep that in mind as we're moving forward. But there's Melissa and I made some notes of some smaller stuff that you guys can keep track of and look in your these local apps that we're going over. So anybody have any questions throughout the last week that we went through? Any obstacles that you ran into while you were sourcing? Any of that stuff? Throw it in the chat right now. We'll jump into it and go get those answered as well. So
we're gonna do a screen share in just a little bit.
Yep.
Jump into LetGo this week, and we have a couple more zip codes to go through.
Yep.
So
throw some more
and we
zip
still
codes
don't
in there.
know who got the cement.
Yeah, somebody jumped on there and got the cement bucket from last week. Because I actually, once we got off the call, I was going to email the guy, and it was sold right as soon as I jumped on there. So either somebody jumped in there, got it from the call, or the guy sold it. It was a great deal. So those things, I didn't think that kind of item would go quick, but it obviously did. So
somebody wanted it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I was trying to figure out how I could get away and go pick the thing up. So I would have, if I could have made communication, we probably would have tried to do it. So thanks so much for jumping on. Yeah, always.
It's the small items. And, like, you have to think about too, like when you're sourcing on apps and stuff, like people, like you have to think of yourself. If you're going to post something, like for me personally, I'm not going to post something on Facebook Marketplace or online that I'm not going to try to get at least like $20 for. Yeah. So trying to find those $5 small items that you can sell for $30 is a lot harder on an app. Like it can be done, but it's a lot harder.
And even think about yourself. Like Melissa and I, we've had yard sales and we've done stuff like that. Yeah. The only stuff we're throwing in that yard sale box or the yard sale when we sort for it, it's going to be $5, $10, $15, $20 items. They're usually going to go in that box and be sold at the yard sales. Well, those are your cheaper items, the smaller items that you'll actually find at those local venues. So they're going to get donated to Salvation Army, to Goodwill, and thrift stores. So that's where you're going to go in there. You're going to find them in those local areas, and then that's where you swoop in, you grab them, you bring them back to the house, picture them, and throw them on eBay. And that's how we do it. So like I said, it is a little bit harder to find them. The best way to find the smaller items is scrolling through the pictures. That I can't really give you anything specific that you can look for. You guys know. A quick story, when I played soccer in high school. I absolutely love soccer. I played it in high school, and our coach would always tell us, you play the way that you're facing. And this kind of relates to what we're working here. When we got a soccer ball, when somebody passed it to us, instead of us trying to maneuver around people, if we got a soccer ball passed to us, and if we're facing a direction right there, you pass it to that direction. You run, you move around, and it was a passing game. That's what our coach taught us. So, but to you guys, how that relates to you is what you will find pictures of. You will find items and Offer Up. Don't be out there when you're starting out. Don't be out there looking for all these other things that you don't know. Stick with the stuff you know. And when I say that, if you're a musician, look for the instruments. You're going to see an instrument on there saxophone, the trumpet, all that kind of stuff, that you see a brand and you know what it's worth, you'll know more about that than I would know or anybody else because I'm not a musician. Right. So same thing if you're a golfer. If you're a golfer and you see some clubs on there that are a great brand name, you'll know that right away. I don't know that because I'm not a golfer. So I'm not typically going out looking for instruments unless, I'm scrolling through pictures and I see one and I look at it real quick and it's 30 or 40 bucks. Then I'm going to jump in, check the name, that kind of thing. So play the way that you guys are facing. Know what you have that you're experienced in or that you know the most about. And people, everybody knows a little bit about something. Whether it's you're younger and you're a gamer, video games, that kind of stuff. So those things are posted on there. So there's so many different avenues. And then when you're ready to expand, that's when you start scrolling through the pictures and you find some stuff that looks interesting. If it's in a smaller item and that's what you're really looking for, you do some research. So that's the best thing, the best advice we can give you on that kind of sourcing. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys.
It's definitely to gravitate towards the stuff that you like. Like I personally grew up riding horses, so I would gravitate towards the horse stuff, which is expensive. Yeah. It's leather stuff, and some of it is small. It's a breastplate or a saddle or boots or whatever it is, and it's all leather, and you can resell it for good money if you know that stuff. Like the brands, like I would know what brands worth reselling. Well, it's been years now that I've ridden, but back then I would know, and I would still recognize some of them now. But so it definitely helps to know what you're interested in. Like crafts too are another one. If you know some of the crafting tools that are out there right now. I know like Cricut's really it can be more expensive. You find it for a couple dollars, and then you can resell it. So just like little things like that. If you're into it, then so that helps. That gives you a leg up on those categories, and then you can expand to other categories. Like you don't limit yourself to those, but you start with those. Yeah, great place to start.
Yeah.
So
100%. And like right now, I mean, the larger items those are what so you guys see me when I'm sourcing even last week. Those bigger items are what I'm drawn to because I know the profits are huge on those, and I know how to ship them. I know how to sell them. I know how to do that stuff. So that's where we're at right now. That doesn't mean that's where we want you guys to be at. But
that's not where we started.
No, exactly. The same thing. Wherever you're at, that's where you play towards. Whatever you have. You don't have a truck. You don't have a trailer. You have a car. You deal with smaller items, and you just find those smaller items. But the stuff that you're familiar with, the stuff that you have a little bit of background in, go deeper with those. And then as you're ready to expand for sure. So
you still put the Nordic track in your car.
I did. But that's because exercise equipment was one of the first things that I learned how to do. And I learned that there's a lot of money in exercise equipment, especially Nordic tracks.
Yeah.
Growing up. So that's how we started with that. So
I'll look at some questions.
Sure.
When you buy something that's big and heavy, how do you load it if the seller doesn't have a forklift or something to load it for you?
I'm trying to relate this to myself. Most of the places that I will get big and heavy stuff, I either have a dolly that I can move it with.
You can move a lot on a dolly. Yeah. Like people don't know.
There's all different sizes of dollies too. I have a larger dolly that I could put a lot of stuff on. Probably up to 1,000 pounds. 750 to 1,000 pounds. If it's not unmanageable for a dolly, that's really the best way to go for us. That's how we'll move it. But then we have a forklift at the house that we.
Well, we really don't we haven't bought a lot locally that you couldn't move by yourself with a dolly.
No.
Can you think of anything that we've had to have a forklift?
No. A dolly and a strap. You strap around and strap it up to the dolly, and then if anything, one other person helps you pick it up and tilt it onto the dolly, and you can roll it wherever you need to go. So. But yeah, great question. That's just don't buy something that you can't move. That's that you don't want to do that. Something that's really, really large, unless it's on wheels already. Like I'm just thinking of the stuff. I moved one of my storage units today. We're emptying one of the storage units into our new warehouse, and I have a printer that I've had for a couple months now, but I think the thing's like 8 foot long, and it's really, really heavy, but it's on casters, it's on wheels. So I can roll it up into my trailer. I can do anything I need to do with it that way. And then I also had 2 big kettles, and those the same thing. I put them on dollies, but probably 250, 300 pounds. And I put them on a dolly, I strap them, I lean them back, and I roll them into my trailer. So larger items like that, and all those will go freight when I sell them. That's just how I move them around, is with a dolly. So that's something to think about for sure.
Most everything's with a dolly. Yeah. Every once in a while you have to call a friend, but most everything is just with a dolly.
And the same thing, once I pallet it, I don't have to use the forklift. If it's smaller, believe it or not, I throw it on a dolly and I wheel it up into the trailer, take it to the freight company or whatever we do, have it picked up or whatever we do. That's the route we do. We can move it around with the dolly. So cool. Great question for sure.
Do you ever have trouble with sellers that offer up not answering you back when you make an offer on an item? I made offers on 2 different items and did not hear back.
Yes.
Very discouraging.
No, it is. And a lot of times, if it is a low ball offer, sellers they just don't respond back. And that's okay. I mean, you have to realize you're in this game. This goes into another question that Melissa and I wanted to touch on. You're in this game to make money. So even like last week, we talked about sleep numbers. Somebody found a sleep number for like $200. That's on the higher end. You can still make money on it, but we want to make real money. We don't want to buy it for $200, part it out, make an extra 150 bucks on that. You're going out too much money on that. You want to buy those sleep number mattresses where somebody's moving, they can't get rid of it. It's got a stain on it, a couple stains on it, so they know they can't get the top dollar for it. And you're going to buy it for 40 or 50 bucks. Then you're going to take it to the laundromat. You're going to wash it. You're going to do that kind of stuff to it, get it ready to go. And then you're going to make 300-400 bucks on that mattress. And you only put out, 40 bucks, 50 bucks on it. Even sometimes it's cheaper than that. It all just depends. So when you're seeing that now, if you're finding a newer mattress and frame and all that kind of stuff, and it's $200 and they're selling for $1,000, that's a different story. You can definitely do that. You can get into it and do it that route. But the majority of the time, the older sleep numbers that you're going to get for around 200 bucks are going to be the ones you're going to make a little bit more money on. And it's not worth your time, to be honest with you guys. So always think about that when you're sourcing. You want to get it as cheap as you can get it, where there's enough meat on the bone to make some money. That was the question that I was talking about. Is somebody asked us about that, the sleep number over there.
In the group.
Okay, they asked us about that. Bring me back to the question. What was the question on that one?
On OfferUp, I made offers and
sorry,
items.
I got sidetracked. I got sidetracked on the higher, paying a little bit more money. But yeah, that's the case. I'll throw out a lot of offers and a lot of people. Like we're looking. That was one of our biggest things this week. Is we sold a truck that we've had for 3 years. That was a sweet flip. Our biggest flip of this year. Sold it for $18,000 and we paid $3,500 for it. But all that being said, is I throw out offers like crazy on OfferUp. If the people don't take it, and a lot of times they're low ball. Sometimes I'll do half of what they're what they're asking for it. And a lot of people won't respond back. And if they need to get rid of it, those are the people that I want. I want to buy it from those people. They're moving. Right. They can't take it with them. They have to get rid of it that day. That's the kind of thing. I threw offers. I probably threw 5-6 offers out today of some trucks that I was going to buy. And 3 of them didn't even respond back to me, and the other 2 did. So that's just it's a numbers game. Don't get attached to one thing. Know that you're going to throw some offers out there. Keep looking for more stuff. If it's a good enough deal, maybe raise your offer a little bit and see if they respond to you. If there's enough money to be made. So yeah, don't get discouraged if people don't respond back. It's just most likely that it was too low of an offer and they don't want to do it. And you guys know when you're on OfferUp and you send an offer to somebody, there's a little thing at the bottom of that you can see when your person sees the offer. OfferUp, LetGo, both of those have marks on them. I think Facebook, So you can see when you send the offer that it's got, I don't remember which one has 1 check. When they see it, it shows 2 checks. So if they do see that offer and they don't respond to you, maybe it was too low. I'll raise it a little bit if there's enough money to be made and see if they respond the second time. So,
but don't feel obligated to have to make those high offers.
Exactly.
You don't. It's fine. Like that's the one great thing about negotiating online. Like you're just like you send an offer. If they don't accept it or they don't respond, okay, you can move on to the next thing and keep looking. So 100%.
Just keep going down the line. Throw out those offers and find those deals. You want those amazing deals. You want the deals that you're going to spend 20, 30, 40 bucks on that's going to make you $300, $400, $500. So if that's what you really want to be looking for, and you're going to throw offers out there. I remember one of the first lowball offers I did on an exercise machine a couple years back, and it was a Sky Fit. I think that was the name of it, Sky Fit. It was a commercial machine. Anyways, the guy had it listed for $450 locally, and he couldn't sell it. I think it had been listed for a month. I threw him an offer of like $175 or $200, and he jumped back and said, "Okay, I'll do it." And I was surprised because I undercut him. I did it, and we sold it for like $3,000. But I didn't want to go out, $500 and then sit on it. I didn't know how long I'd have to sit on it, so that's why I threw what it was worth to me. He took it, and I got it. So that's just something to think about while you're out there sourcing. So
I have a lot of freight shipping questions. I want to start shipping. We're going to jump into LetGo in just a couple minutes, but I want to start selling large items freight. What course do you recommend for freight shipping?
We have a freight shipping course. So that's what we teach. That's what we do every day in and day out. So I was at the freight company last night dropping something off. So yeah, we have a course on that. If you guys want to jump into there, for sure, jump onto it.
Part of our Pro Flipper Plus is the freight, because not everybody wants to do freight, but it's on there if you get the plus. So, and we'll throw that link in there later on for sure.
Freight is what took us from a part-time gig to a full-time gig.
And you don't have to ship freight to make good good money. Like we only started shipping freight or started selling big items and shipping freight really just a couple, like 3 or 4 years
Three or
ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah. So when we jumped in full time, when we really had to make enough money to provide for our family,
Yeah.
like we really had to,
Yeah.
make a difference. So that's when we started shipping freight. So,
Yeah.
but you don't have to make a good side
No,
income.
for sure.
Let's see. Sorry if we missed a couple. We'll jump back to these at the end. What do you recommend for shipping supplies? That's definitely going to be like that's kind of broad. So we'll like talk about box versus freight, but we're really not going to jump into a lot of the shipping stuff today. We're going to talk more.
Yeah, we want to do more sourcing stuff. So, but yeah, all that freight stuff. Like I said, we do
even
freight.
Box stuff too. We have a lot of that large item box or regular box item shipping. I don't know if you want to add to that.
No, that's it. Yeah, for sure.
Just by the freight course, I've not had a chance to look at it. How we picked up 2 items today that need to be freight shipped. What supplies do you suggest? Yeah, we'll have to jump into that on one of our other shipping calls for sure.
Yeah.
What about teak furniture? Do you sell it locally or do you sell it on eBay and ship it?
Both. We offer it locally when we get it, and we ship it as well because we're not scared of shipping anything. So if the money's, you'll make a lot more money on eBay if you offer shipping versus locally because it just takes the right person. But we sold 4 cheap teak chairs off Facebook Marketplace not too long ago.
Yeah, it was a lady.
It was
the
like
lady you met in
$200
the
per
van.
chair.
Yeah, she was, and she actually sent me a picture with her cat. Like she redid the chairs and
redid
stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Look what I did." She made like little covers for them and sent them back, which was pretty nice.
But we had those listed on Facebook Marketplace, and we had them on eBay. And we took, when you have eBay, you have to account for your fees that you're taking out.
So you ask a little more for on eBay.
Yeah, and shipping and stuff like that if you're doing free shipping. So you have to account for that versus the local number that you can just walk away from it and somebody picks it up. So
I think she lived an hour away and she drove to go come pick it up.
Yeah, and she did that. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we cross post, we do that when it's worth it. But those teak chairs that we just sold, actually, that's probably been 6 months ago. Those chairs that we sold, we listed them on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and she picked them up. But they were expensive. I think they were $400 or $500 a chair retail, and we sold them to her. I think $250, something like that. She paid cash and picked them up, and we always like cash. So yeah,
but you did have that one buyer who bought for his houses in another country, didn't he?
Yes, yes.
That was our first teak set that we sold, right?
Yep, the big one. And he was in South Florida. He paid me freight to ship them freight. I actually threw him on a trailer. I threw him on a pallet and strapped him, but because he was taking them off with a forklift versus hand unloading this set. I threw him on a pallet, strapped him to the pallet like they were going to go freight, and then I drove him down to him because he was in South Florida. So to save myself a little bit of money versus paying, I think it probably cost me like $50-$75 to drive down there and back, and then versus me paying $200 for shipping, I saved a little bit of money like that. And I always like driving because I see the country and look for more stuff to buy. So yeah, that's an option as well.
On OfferUp, it seems to only show me things I've searched for before. I feel like I'm not seeing new listings.
Yeah, and that's the case when you're looking at stuff. If you Bo, yeah, dude, check it out. When you do that, because we're doing the same thing. Their smart feed now is if you start looking at a couple trucks, they're going to show you all the trucks. If you look at iPhones, they're going to start showing you iPhones. Start clicking on some other things, and it will. Even if you're not really interested in it, start throwing a couple things of lifts and throw their smart feed off. So don't look at a couple individual things at a time, but throw in, look at a phone, look at a couch, look at a dining room set. Start doing that, and then it's going to mix it all up for you, and it's going to show you some more stuff. So if you're not searching for anything specific, like I don't look for anything specific when I'm sourcing, I just scroll pictures.
But now it's showing you all trucks.
Exactly,
so
because
you
I
can't look at anything else.
So you have to actually click on a couple different things. Like I said, throw the smart feed off, and then it's not going to know what to give you, and then you'll start getting back to that original. The original feed.
But there's not a way to clear it, is there?
I have no idea. You can delete the app and throw it back up. You could probably do that, but I'm telling you, if you just do that, because I do the same thing. I noticed that they're throwing me all that crap, and you want to start getting back into sourcing. So
I'm
for
still
sure,
seeing phones on mine. I haven't really looked on it.
So
all right, let's jump into
sourcing?
like a bit. Let's see, how far will you personally drive to pick up an item to flip? I'm sure it depends on the profit potential.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like our other side of town is like 45 minutes. So that's kind of where our radius is, unless it's going to be a good profit. Like you'd drive 2 hours if it was going to be like a $2,000 profit.
Yeah.
But
an hour, a couple $100. I mean, I would drive for an hour to get, $500 to $1,000. I would drive an hour to do that. So, but that's what, like I said, we're the other end of town is 45 minutes to an hour. North of us, the same thing. We have a radius that we can drive, probably 45 miles, and all around us to get to that. So yeah, we're not, if the profit's there and it's more than that, yeah, we'll drive and we'll pick it up. But you just have to take into account for your time and what you're buying, how much money you're going to make on it. So,
all right, you ready to?
Let's do it.
Did you want to talk about the thing we talked about yesterday with Derek's find?
Yeah. This is a great point, guys. That you should get a lot out of this. We have, and like we were talking about the freight group, our course that we actually have. We have a private Bo's in it. Bo. We have a private.
And Joy and Linda too.
Sweet.
I see them on Tony.
Yeah. I just know Bo personally because we've done a workshop with Bo. So check it out. We somebody posted into our private Facebook group. It's all the people who go through Flipper University. We have a private Facebook group that we can share things in different places of the U.S. Derek is over in Hawaii and he's gone through our university. He actually found a what was it called? The
stressless earcorns chair. I can't pronounce it right.
Yeah, but it's the name brand of it, and he showed it to us. He paid $40 for it. He did a little bit of leather restoration on it.
He knew how to do the leather.
Yeah, looked gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And he sold it for locally. He didn't even ship it, but he sold it locally for like $800. I saw that chair and I was like, "There's no way that thing's worth $800." But it's name brand. The name that it is a high end name. So I jumped onto our local OfferUp, LetGo, and that kind of stuff. And instead of, you can always, when you know an expensive name brand, you can jump in and you can type that name brand into the search bar, and it will it'll pull up everything with that name brand and it'll give it to you. Like Melissa said, this was a stressless. It was a leather recliner, but it was a really weird looking one. I wish we had a picture of it. Really weird looking one. And it was this name brand, Acornus or whatever it was.
Acorns or Acorns or
something like that. But anyways, when you type it in and you do a search for those, the same, and everybody does this for teak in our group as well, because we've made a lot of money on teak furniture. Everybody will jump into the search bars and they'll type in teak. The only problem is when people know the brand that they have or the type of wood that they have, they're going to ask more money for it. Right. So when you go
for anything.
It is. And this is just, you can use it for any application. But for teak furniture, when you jump in there and type wood patio set instead of teak furniture or wood lounge chair, something like that, people that don't know that it's teak wood, it looks like it's worn, it looks like it's sun faded, they don't think it's worth as much money. They don't know that's teak, so they're not going to list it for that. They're going to offer it a lot less money. You can swoop in, get a good deal on it, restore it, and then sell it because it's teak. So, but you have to familiarize with yourself with the type of wood, the characteristics of the wood. The same thing with this chair that Derek posted. Derek posted this chair. So I jumped in and did that. I jumped in and instead of searching the actual name, which I searched the name, and people that knew they had the name, they're asking, $400, $500, $800 to a couple $1,000s for that name brand chair. But then when I went in and actually searched for leather recliner, I got a whole bunch of chairs that were leather recliners, but I also got those types of chairs that there were knockoff brands, and that's where it comes in. You got to get familiar with it. I don't know this chair. I didn't know this chair well enough to know the type of architecture it was or the type of build that it was. So I had to go into Google. I had to do the search. I had to look at pictures and find that exact brand and familiarize myself with what it looked like. And then I went in and did the leather recliner. And I started finding other recliners that were that brand, but they were listed as leather recliner. So that's one really good thing to keep in mind when you're out there sourcing. Don't always source by the name brand that it is. Source by something else that you can think of that somebody would put.
About it,
exactly.
Like describe what it is versus the name brand.
Exactly. That somebody else might list it that way if they don't know the name brand, they don't know the type of wood, they don't know something about it that it makes it worth a lot of money. So that's just one key that you guys, it will set you up for success when you're looking that way. Instead of searching for teak, do patio set, do wood patio set, and then you'll know the characteristics of it. If you search Google for teak patio furniture, you'll know the type of design, the type of wood it is, and know it's a heavier wood than just normal wood. So you'll know a lot of stuff about it that you can go and look at an item it's listed as a wood patio set and know if it's teak or not. So,
and a lot of times they'll have pictures you can zoom in and see it. You can see the brand, and if they live close enough, you can go check it out. And if it's worth it, then you can get it. If not, then maybe it was a 20-minute drive and it might not have panned out, and that's okay. You didn't have to buy it. You're not obligated to buy when it's local.
Yeah.
Another one I thought about is like knee braces. If you search knee braces versus DonJoy.
Yeah.
I mean, DonJoy is a brand that usually sells for a lot more, or there's a lot of other brands too.
And those knee braces, I mean, I could find those things at the flea market for, $1, $2, $5. And I don't know how much they're selling for lately. It depends on the model.
Yeah.
But I mean, I sold some of those things for up to $200 and $500 and paid hardly anything for them. But it's the same thing. It's a knee brace versus Don Joy. If people actually put the name in there, they know it's worth a little bit more money. Same thing for strollers.
Yeah,
I bought strollers
sure.
before that people don't know an expensive name brand, and they just list a stroller or just a picture of it. And it comes up in your feed, and then you look in, you zoom in, you can either see a name on it, or you just know by the characteristics of the stroller. Exactly. Like a Bob stroller, I could pick a picture of a Bob stroller out. We've sold a lot of them, made great money on them. And if I see a picture that says stroller and they don't have Bob, that is that type of stroller, I know that type of stroller. I can pick it out with any picture of the stroller from any angle. I know what kind of stroller it is. So that's the thing, is just familiarizing yourself with that. But think about that as you guys are sourcing. Don't always think of just the brand and then type the brand in the search. You might still find some good deals that way. So I'm not telling you don't do that, but also search outside. Think outside the box to be able to search and find those items. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're going to jump on there.
Yeah, let's jump on to LetGo. A couple things I forgot to tell you guys when we were on OfferUp. I'm going to show you a lot of these things that we're going to search, just like OfferUp. LetGo is going to be really, really similar. We'll jump into a couple zip codes, but I want to show you guys a couple more things that you want to do while you're sourcing to get the most out of it. So I'm going to jump on the phone and we'll try and see if I can get set up for screen share. So
all right,
cool.
So grab your phone. All right. We try to do this right before, and we couldn't get logged on, so hopefully it works out. And we're going to try to not have feedback again, so he's going in the other room. All right, let me know when you're on. Let me see if I can find him. Sorry for the delay, guys. I gotta share his screen once he finds it, and keep putting any questions you have as you think of them. Just throw them in the chat and we'll get to them afterwards. I see him. All right, let's.
Okay, I'm on. I just have to remember how to screen share.
Well, I see you.
Sorry, guys. Give us 1 second. I forget how to screen share now.
Got
it.
All right, let's pin your video.
Zoom.
Can everybody see Rob right now? He should be.
Can you see the video or me?
I just see it. Just says iPhone right now. I don't see your screen.
Oh, hold on. I didn't do something right.
I just see you.
Broadcast. Start broadcast. Okay, we should be into it. Got me?
Yep, you got your phone, your screen share. Can everybody see screen share? Let me put this and grab the chat.
Sorry about that, guys. I forgot.
Hold on, I don't hear you. Hold on, let me make sure we can hear you. It might just be my computer. Can everybody hear Rob and see his? Don't stop screen sharing.
Yep, I got you.
All right, can everybody hear him? Let me see. Yep, we can hear you and see you.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so guys, we're in LetGo right now, the LetGo app. We're in that app. You have a couple different ways to search, similar to OfferUp. You can search by categories up at the top, and then you, if you want to go into different categories, or you can search the search bar. One of the things that I forgot to mention last week that I'll jump into real quick before we jump into zip code. This is just Orlando stuff. When you find a good item, chances are, and it's a cheap price, chances are it could be a reseller, and you might want to look at more of the items. I can't tell you how many times I've done this. Created a contact with a reseller who was selling stuff cheap. Oh, this is a good one right here. I actually marked it. I found this a little while ago. Check out this tree stand. This is local, so I could actually go buy this thing. It's a Christmas tree stand. But sometimes you see how when you find an item, it's only $46. These things were selling on eBay for, I think, like $300. And I had no idea about this. I just saw it. It's not real big. You guys, I'm sure you have seen Christmas tree stands that you guys could throw it into a box. It wouldn't ship freight. You'd go into a box and be able to do it. But I Googled it. You guys remember, I jumped over from here. I go to eBay. I do the research on it. And I did Christmas tree wrap machine, and it came up. So you can do that. We don't have to waste time on doing that. But when you see an item like this, the same thing for LetGo, same thing for OfferUp. I think even Facebook, I don't think you can do it on Craigslist, but Facebook Marketplace, you can do the same thing. You see where the seller is right there, where it says SB? Click on the seller, and then look at what else this seller has to offer. And you can see all the other stuff that he has posted. And this guy has some shoes, actually some Jordans too. You can actually go in and do some research on that. But you want to look at, if they're a reseller, they're going to have some cool stuff that you can actually go into, and you might be able to find more than one item to buy. I mean, he's got golf clubs. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. So you might be able to find more than one item to buy from a specific seller, and that will help you. And then maybe even create a contact when you go to pick up an item. You say, hey, do you ever get more stuff like this? I'm interested in that kind of stuff. So relationship in our business is huge. Creating those contacts for sure, especially off of these apps, because you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what kind of stuff they have contacts for, and then they're going to make money on you. You're going to make money on them, but at the same time, you want to build those relationships if you can. So, anyways, that's something to think about. Always check, and OfferUp's the same way. You can click on the seller. Always check those sellers when you find something that's cheap and good. You want to see what other items they have that are of value when you're out there sourcing. So that's a really good trick that you guys want to use while you're out there sourcing. So, all right, hon, let's go ahead and jump on here, throw me a zip code, and let's jump into a couple of zip codes.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
56093.
Oops. Okay, Minnesota?
I believe so. I just grabbed
Okay.
the zip code.
And this is when you guys are looking for different zip codes. If you're traveling, I'll urge you to do this. Jump in. You can change the radius that you're jumping into. Now, you see this one. There's not very many big towns right in that area. So try to expand the thing, and then you can see Minneapolis is above it. I would almost expand it out to hit one of the major cities. You're 100 miles out, which we kind of just talked about that. What's worth driving? If you go 50, the next step is 100 is all it's going to let me do. So maybe start at 50, see what's in your close towns around you, and then you can actually go out further and try and find, St. Paul, Minneapolis, those kind of things. You can go reach out further if you have to, and hopefully plan a day if you find a couple things in there that you can make a day trip out of it. So let's go ahead and start sourcing this here. Like I said, I like to source just by looking at pictures. So whatever grabs my eye while I'm doing this. Now, we talked about small things, guys. You can check out jeans too, local jeans. And I don't know anything about jeans, so that's not my area of expertise. But you can jump into and see this seller probably has tons of clothes. If you start finding some good brand names, well, they don't have too many, but if you start finding some good brand names for somebody and you can make money, you see their $100 pair of jeans and they're $20. And they have a couple different ones. That's a great contact to create and reach out to that seller and do that. So, but I'm going to scroll through here real quick. Now, the other thing that you always want to remember, once we get down here a little ways, I want to see how often these have been posted, because I don't know how active this LetGo area is. Jewelries too, guys. If you know jewelry, I don't know jewelry that well, but you can make some great money at jewelry if you know what you're looking for and that kind of stuff. So let's keep scrolling down. And by pictures, I'm not seeing a ton of stuff that is catching my eye. So then we can jump up and, type in a couple of those words that we know, buzzwords of stuff that we can look for and see if any of those things are posted, or jump into a category and narrow it down by category. So is everybody still with me? Can everybody hear me and see me?
I think so.
Okay.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, let me jump into this and see how long ago. A month. See, LetGo doesn't give you like exact days, so it's over a month. But that's not too bad because we came quite a ways down. So it still might not be that relevant of stuff.
Like one seller who sells a lot of jewelry.
Yeah. And that's what it usually will do on the if you have a seller that's listed a whole bunch of stuff, it's going to list all their stuff when you're searching through it. Okay, I don't see anything that's jumping on my eyes, but still, and I'm only scrolling down for a minute. You could actually do this. That's a North Face sweater, 45, or jacket, 45. I mean, you could offer them less and see if you could snag that, but what is that? I have no idea.
Gaming.
Oh, mouse. It's just a mouse. No good. But yeah, that's how I look. If I don't know what it is and it catches my eye, that's what I jump in and start doing a little bit of research on. That's a cool end table. $12. See, that's an antique end table. They only have one picture of it. But that's worth a little bit of money. Somebody could repurpose that and make a little bit of money for $12. Yeah, all day long. And they are.
We lost you.
Oh, hold on. I'll jump back on.
Says iPhone. I see you.
Okay. Got me again?
Yep, got your phone.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know what that was. But this is this is definitely a reseller. I didn't see how many. It doesn't say how many items they have listed, but you can tell they have quite a few items listed that you can go in and try to see if they have any other deals. Same thing. If you found a little end table like that, jump over into eBay. Try to find a similar end table. This could actually probably ship in a box, to be honest with you guys, so you wouldn't have to do freight. And the pedestal probably would come off the table itself, that you could do that if you wanted to. That could be repurposed into something really cool and be worth way more than $12. I guarantee that.
Yeah, if you were good at furniture, you could definitely repurpose that.
There's some bows on here. See, that's higher dollar. So this is, yeah, Bo could tell us if this thing was worth any money. But he's got a case.
$100, you're not going to buy that for reselling.
No. But if this was a $2,000, and Bo, like I said, Bo would know this. If your expertise is music instruments, you see a $2,000 saxophone, and they're wanting, $769. If it was me, I would offer this guy $500 cash, tell him I could pick it up today, and I would see if he would take it, and then I would check on eBay and see how active the sales are. If it looks like it would sell quick, I would do that. I would go $500 out to make $2,000. That's $1,500 on something, but you got to do the research. You have to do the research to see what it's worth, and we can see if this guy's got any other instruments.
Bo said that's too much.
Okay, but he does have more instruments, so chances are $800. Yeah, if he's expensive on one, if he's expensive on one of them, he might be expensive on the rest of them. So $350. Yeah. So, but you guys get the idea. That's the biggest thing is the idea when you're sourcing. This is not like you're gonna find something every time you jump on to source. This is just one of those things that you want to jump on. You want to get into a regular routine of searching, surfing through these different apps. And you can look too to see how active one app is versus another one. And if one app is less active, like if we're not getting as many searches on LetGo, or you're not finding as much good stuff, maybe jump in every other day or every 3 days, jump into LetGo and see if anything new's been posted. But then stick with OfferUp if it's the more active app that you're working with. So see there, that's what would catch my eye. $1,000. See, we would try and buy something like that. So let's do this though. Now, when you guys are searching this, give me that zip code one more time. Let's jump over to OfferUp and see what compared to OfferUp in this area.
You want it now?
Yeah.
56093.
Oh, 20, sorry.
Yeah, 93.
Got it. Okay, we're doing a 30 mile on this one. OfferUp will give us a little bit better idea. See, that catches my eye, an outboard motor. But $30 all day long. Give me a break. Has compression, clean tank, pulls over, needs carb. Yeah, but still $30 for a 3 horsepower motor. It's not the prettiest thing, but I could make money on that. Yeah, definitely. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Hold on, I'll start it again.
We see you.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, like $30. Offer the guy $20 on this. Yeah, probably 80 to 85, $100 easy locally if you didn't want to ship it. Or you can do a little bit of work to it, that kind of stuff. So I'm getting sidetracked with big stuff. So OfferUp, you want to check OfferUp and do that. Scroll down, like I said. And once you scroll down a little ways, look at something. See, this was 3 weeks ago. So OfferUp is not super active on this area. Now, if we widen the range, if we're not seeing anything that's, jumps out at us, we can widen the radius and see if it will reach out a little bit further into, a more active area, because we're right on the edge of right on the edge of, I know, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities up there. So let me jump in and see if I can raise it. Max is probably going to be like 50 miles, which it might not even reach that far. Is that a bed? No. We sold a Murphy bed and made really, really good money on it. So that's another thing that catches my eye sometimes too. So, but it's the same thing. So we jumped over from LetGo into OfferUp with that zip code. You want to check and see how active all of the different avenues are when you're sourcing. Find out what's your best. That's an expensive blender right there. And they know it. So you can't make money with that.
$1,000 on OfferUp.
Yep. And they won't get that, but it's inexpensive. You could probably get that on eBay. Maybe not that much, but yeah, so you want to compare, find out which is the best, the most active. Maybe it's Facebook Marketplace. Maybe it's Craigslist. Craigslist has been around a lot longer than these other apps. So you want to make sure you're searching all those avenues. Find the one that people are posting the most in, and then those are the ones you want to pay the most attention to. Don't discount the other ones, but use them a little bit less often. Jump in there a little bit less often and see if there's anything good, because they will get bigger. OfferUp, like I said, in these areas, they will get bigger. They'll only continue to grow. They're putting a lot of money and resources into these apps, and they're going to keep growing and growing and growing. So I don't see anything that's jumping out at me. And we're not really using the search either, guys, on this. We're not doing the actual physical like search bar. Let's see, Sleep Number. We did this one last week. If you find any of these, I always look for sleep. Oh, we're back in Orlando.
That one might put you back in Orlando.
Yeah, that's fine. Shoot me another zip code real quick. We'll jump it in here.
81001.
001. Save location, and I have this at the max. It's jumped me right into Sleep Number to see what sleep numbers are available. See, that's
on the thing.
Yeah, because it was in the search bar. You can see it's still in the search bar at the top. You can see that $550, $75. If this is a Sleep Number, it's worth it. Good looking, great condition. I would probably offer them $50 for this. Listed 2 days ago. Let me see if they have any other pictures. Nope, that's the only picture they have. But you can see it's 2 days old. Light new, good looking, barely used. Mattress and Sleep Number frame. So maybe the mattress isn't Sleep Number. Maybe it's just a frame. But that frame still might sell if the parts are there. It's going to still ship in a box. It's not going to go freight. And I think these frames sell for $200 and $300. So even if you tell the guy you only want the frame and you'll give him $25 for it, then you can turn around and sell it probably for $250. But that's where you go back and you do your research on eBay, see what it's selling for. I'm not going to jump into that because we kind of covered that last week. But there's a Sleep Number. I think, nope, Tempur-Pedic. So, but you get the idea. So you can go in and do the search the same way. If you can't find anything. Is that Sleep King mattress? No, that's not.
Are you searching under Sleep Number, or are you?
Yeah, no, this is Sleep Number. This is Sleep Number. We can go back out of Sleep Number and just check general. Oh, you got to give me the zip code one more time. Sorry.
Okay, 81001.
Okay, let's do this, and we'll just search general. Whoa, 300 miles. That's too much. Let's do Colorado Springs. It looks like it stretches into that. 50-mile radius. Collector's cards. These, definitely. If you know baseball, football, that kind of stuff, these cards might be worth some money. That if you can get a good enough deal in the local market and then throw them on to eBay, that's definitely, if that's your expertise, by all means do it. Definitely receivers. You can do receivers if you know how to check them, you know that they work, or even if you sell them, if you get them cheap enough that you can sell them as is. Just checking to see if it powers on, that kind of thing. You can do receivers too. Receivers are high dollar. They're worth a lot of money if you know what you're doing. I personally don't, so I don't usually mess with receivers.
What was that thing, the exercise thing just above that? Wasn't that like a foot pedal thing?
Where?
Right there.
Yeah, just a stepper, but it's just a cheap one.
Oh.
Yeah, $20. You might make a little bit of money on that, but that's not something that I would jump into.
The exercise equipment.
Yeah. Total Gyms. We've made some great money on Total Gyms before, depending on the model. Let's keep looking. Kicked me out.
Need it again?
Yep, hold on one second. What is it?
81001.
81001.
Yep.
Got it. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's being a little glitchy tonight, but try to get back to our normal area. That's the other thing. Like, if you're scrolling through and you're finding that they're not listing stuff all the time, you can go in the morning and then scroll down. See, Stacy's done really well with some crazy bags. I personally don't know Louis Vuitton.
Can't be Louis Vuitton for $8.
Yeah, I agree. But it's used, so it's possible. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't.
When you know that stuff, then
then you can pick out a fake or not. I don't know that stuff. This is probably the same lady.
Yeah, but that one's
Or
only
guy.
Klein.
Calvin Klein, yeah. But if you want to do smaller stuff and name brand clothes, shoes, that kind of stuff, you can find that stuff on here. But I found that it's easier to find that stuff. See, there's a receiver. $60 portable. Oh, that's dishwasher. Sorry. But I find out that the local avenues are a little bit better for. There's an antique projector, so that might be. That's worth looking, but $80 still. I would probably offer them, $40 on that if it was something that was worth $150, $200, something like that. It's small. It would ship fairly easy. And I'm not seeing a ton of stuff either. How active are we? 5 days ago. Actually, this is a pretty active area. So we've only made it 5 days from scrolling down. So it's definitely worth either doing some searches in this area.
What are those shoes?
What's that?
What are those shoes? Michael Kors.
Yeah, that might be worth money.
Yeah.
Bo would know that one. That might, I have no idea, but Bo would know that one as well. So, yeah, that's kind of what I talk about, playing to your direction. Bo knows shoes, Bo knows instruments. That's what he can make the most money on because he knows the most about that. Me, it's larger items. I know larger items, and that's what catches my eyes.
But it's also stuff you've learned, like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Time to learn it. Exactly.
The more stuff you do. What is this? A grow light. Sun system.
In there.
What?
You don't know what they're growing with that.
No. Sun system. Negotiable. Yeah, so that is something that you could go in and jump in and do the research. If it is, it's not. It would go into a box. And I'm not necessarily Jordan shoes. I know some of those are super expensive. I'm not jumping over to.
Now, what about that? Scroll up to that treadmill. So, that would probably not be a good flip because it's just like a home one. It's not a commercial one.
Yeah, it's not commercial. Although $40 if it's working and you put a little. I made a lot of money on if you have the means to move this. It looks like it folds up. They only have one picture. If it works, $40 or best offer, so $30. You probably could sell, even if you did this locally and you didn't want to ship it, you probably, if you just cleaned it up and took better pictures of it, you can make $150, $200 on it. If you had the means to be able to move it in the back of a truck or a trailer. I sold treadmills back in the day when I was doing Nordic Treks and stuff. And if you can pay $20 for a treadmill, $20, $40, and it's a decent one, this is a bigger treadmill. It's not real small and it folds up, which a lot of people like. So if you can do that for a decent treadmill and everything works on it, they can show you before you pick it up. You can make a couple $100 pretty easily. And that's not a bad gig at all. That was listed 3 days ago. So definitely something to check. That's all that person has listed. So shoes. Oh, see, there's a lot of small stuff, but the stuff that catches my eyes is the stuff that we're going to make money on. So let's go up and do a, see if I can get back and do a actual physical search. What should we search?
Instrument or
Stroller. And see if we can find any strollers that catch our eyes. Now let's see how active we are here. 1 week ago. See, this is a pretty good area. So just by doing a couple of these searches a day, you're getting a lot of activity in this area. You can find some good stuff. Melissa and I actually got a stroller from the kids stroller. Works great.
not a
It
very
looks.
good-
What's that?
So that what first one wasn't a very good picture.
No, but it's not a. It's a weird looking stroller.
Yeah.
This one,
It's an
and
umbrella.
this is one of those things that it's a little umbrella stroller, but it looks very weird. This could be worth some money. I don't know. The other thing that we didn't talk about is asking people brand names. They specifically did not put the brand in here at 5 hours ago. So this was just listed recently. You have two options here, and this is the downfall to both options. You can ask this person, what brand stroller is this? And then this is going to be way too hard to actually go into Google and search pictures. But you could ask what brand this is, and on a stroller, you probably have a good chance of not screwing up the deal. That if they told you what brand it was, you could jump into Google, jump into eBay, do some research on it. But if you did it for that chair, like we were talking about Derek over in Hawaii, if you did ask somebody what brand the leather recliner is that they see and it looks identical to that brand name that you know is worth a lot of money, chances are they might find the brand name, and then they might do the research and realize they're selling a chair for $40 that's worth $800, and then they might not sell it anymore. So you have to be careful on that when you're dealing with that kind of thing. Sometimes it's worth a trip to the people just to look yourself and find out if it is a good brand, if they're not too much out of the way, just to go inspect it and see how it looks and if it's the right brand versus asking people the brand name. Because it's, like I said, you don't want to mess up the deal. If they
double up there looked good.
do what?
One inline double looked good. Oh, that's
23 hours ago. This is a Bob Jogger. It's an older one. Yeah, I don't think this one would be worth it. I mean, I think the most we've spent on Bobs are probably $8,200. There's a single Bob. So you really want to get them, and we do a lot better on local venues for Bobs. Every once in a while, if somebody doesn't know what it is, they'll just throw on a stroller. A reseller will just throw on a stroller. Like this one right here, these really big wheels. These are this company manufactures, and we just sold one of these, I don't know, a couple months ago. This is a special needs stroller. On some of these, they are a special needs stroller. So, and they're pretty desirable the way that they're made. I don't remember. I think we sold it for $400.
Yeah.
Originally paid $350. Buyer selling $100 our best offer. Yeah. So, but the thing is, these are really big wheels. This is a pretty desirable stroller. I can't remember what we sold it for, but that whole thing comes apart and it'll ship in a box, fairly easy to ship. You just wrap it with bubble, so it's not that big of a deal. But you can do that. They make two different models though. One is a special needs, which is worth almost double what the regular one is worth. So that's just something to think about as well. I think that was a Baby Jogger too, the brand on that one.
We got to wrap up soon, hon.
Okay. A bike. Let me see if I can snag anything else. There's an old carriage, baby carriage. $80. Whoops. Which is kind of cool. And sometimes these are worth money if you do the research on them. And you can get them cheap enough. $80. I probably wouldn't pay that much for a stroller on there. It wasn't worth some good money. So, but hopefully you guys get the idea. You can do this and do this for, 5 minutes a day. Jump on your most active one. Let's see if we're in here right now. What is this at? It's not telling me how long ago that was listed. I was trying to see, since we scrolled down this far, it might have taken me off strollers and just put me on baby stuff. A month plus. Okay, so we're down into that now. Yeah, so you can get a better idea. This is a pretty active area 3 weeks ago for all the way that we've scrolled down. And I'm just trying to go quick to give you guys an idea of what the possibilities are. You want to be able to, search this, search LetGo, search OfferUp, find which one is the most active, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist as well, in your area, and then keep up on those. Stay on those. Do those, the ones that are the most active, jump onto those 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, and you will be able to find stuff. Trust me, you will be able to find good stuff that you can source through. Find it by pictures. Go and search it. You can find stuff by search. So, okay,
that black double stroller looks good.
This one?
Yeah. No, not that one.
In step.
No, the
this
black
one
on the top. Yeah. Oh.
City Select.
I would pay $80. Then we could.
Yep, exactly. Then we bought one of these in Texas when we were in Texas, and I think we paid $80 for it and sold it for $350, $400.
Yeah.
A double City Select. So, all right, I'm gonna end it now, and I'm gonna jump back in there. Let's get through a couple questions because we're wrapping up the hour.
All right. Let me put it back on here. You stop screen share. Unpin video. You getting off?
Yep.
Turn off your phone. Let me see if I can find us again. Gallery view. All right, we're back. Are you back, hon?
What?
Come back here. All right, let's put the chat on here. All right, wait. Let me, hold on. Fix it full screen. There we go. All right, we're back.
Awesome.
We had a couple questions as you were going. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Oh, Rebecca said she wished she'd had that table at $12.
Mm-hmm.
That one. I mean, if you're a furniture flipper, you can find some great deals. Find stuff for free.
Yeah, the
People
other thing
give
is
that
on the
stuff
side of the
away.
road.
Yeah.
The side of the road, you can find some amazing deals
Yeah.
on furniture because people can't get rid of it. So
For
if
sure.
you want to do furniture flipping and do some research, that's a great place to get into because you can find some older stuff, well-made stuff that you either repurpose or just, clean up and sell it. And that's where freight shipping really comes in well too, because you can ship it.
Sell it on eBay.
Yeah, and make a lot more money on it. So
are you all able to copy and paste item title from LetGo to
No.
paste on eBay?
Nope. That's one thing I don't like about LetGo is you can't copy it. I'm not a very good speller, so sometimes I got to jump back and forth to get the spelling right and then go into eBay. So that's the one downfall to LetGo, but it's worth looking, and you just have to spell them. So that kind of stinks. OfferUp will let you do it.
When we go to different places, because we travel, we do road trips every once in a while. Do you find that like they're all different, like as far as which is the best for that area?
Format?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like LetGo versus OfferUp, they're all like.
Yeah, it's all different. Like I said, some of them are more active in areas. That's what we were talking about. You just got to search all of the different apps, find out which one is the most active, scroll down for, a minute or two, click on one thing and see how long ago it was listed. If it says it was listed, 12 hours ago and you went, 3/4 of the way down, whatever, you scroll down for a minute or 2 minutes straight, then you have an active app, whatever app that is, and stick to that one. That's where people are posting the most. That's where most traffic is coming through, and you're going to be able to find the best deals. So by far, but don't discount the other ones. Still, just jump in there. Put a little bit less time into sourcing those. So.
Tony said LetGo keeps reverting back to her area for zip code.
Yeah.
You were
Mine was doing that too.
Yeah.
So it LetGo is really, I mean, you guys could see there's glitches on it tonight. So LetGo has been a little glitchy for me. It's still a good place to
Have
find
you
stuff.
updated your app?
No, I probably haven't.
Yeah.
I probably should update it because that might be why it's glitchy too.
Yeah.
So it's a little more glitchy, but still worth looking at for sure.
Bo said he saw one of those fish sonar things that you scrolled by.
Yep.
And made some money on those.
Sweet.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Peg Perego strollers?
Yes, we've sold a couple of them.
Yeah, we have. They're good. They're good brand.
They're old school good.
Yeah.
That's the original back in the day. I mean, when I was young and was selling, Peg Perego it was a good brand. Now
we sold some in the last couple of years.
We have. There's still brands now that are way, way higher end than Peg Perego.
They'll still make like $100 to $200 if you can get them for like
cheap enough.
$15 to $20. Then it's worth it.
But Bugaboo, Up a Baby, even City Select, if you can get a double City Select, the newer models, all those you're talking into up to even like $1,000, $1,500 on some of those higher end strollers. But yeah, you can definitely familiarize yourself with the good name brands. You can search for them, but chances are if you search for the brand itself, people are going to know it's worth money. They paid money for it, and they're going to ask more money for it versus just searching stroller and then finding the characteristics of it when you see it in a picture, knowing what it is, and then clicking into it.
I just sourced an older Bob stroller today for $25.
Nice.
Condition. Yeah, that's Scotty. Awesome.
Yeah, the only thing about the older Bobs, make sure if it's got the canopy on it, up underneath the canopy on the older ones, they had recalls because they put a fabric coat. It was kind of like an iron-on fabric.
Like a patch.
Yeah, it was embroidered through the thing, but you have to make sure if you do have that, you need to take a picture of that if you list it on eBay. Take a picture up underneath that and rip all that stuff off of it. It won't do anything to it.
Yeah, it doesn't damage the stroller.
You just want all that access because it was a choke hazard and they recalled them. So if you got an older Bob stroller, you got to check that. It's embroidered on the top. You just want to pull all that stuff out. It'll still look just fine on the top. You're just pulling the fabric stuff that was sewn in on the bottom. You're just pulling all that stuff off. So
ours was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've had a couple of them like that we've sold.
Yeah.
So you just have to make a note of it that it's been updated or whatever. That
So
it's
that's
not a
fine
choke
for the-
hazard
yeah,
anymore.
it's not
Cool. Great question.
Yeah, if I went to look at the leather recliner, where would I look to see if it's one of the
I spent some time on that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You have to familiarize yourself with the different types of, because those recliners, once they're really, really popular, you'll have knockoffs. You'll have Target making them, or Target's, some brands will come in and make them, and they'll make them for a half or a quarter of the price. I looked at the one recliner that we're telling you about that Derek posted, and I went into Google and I typed in that brand, and I searched all of those pictures that I could, and it was one distinct wood base on it that they had to have had a patent for that design, to where you can see all the other copies and remakes, they didn't have the exact same design underneath the recliner. So if you saw it in a picture, you would know it. That's the best way to explain it. You have to take a little bit of time, give yourself the education of, hey, I can look at these pictures and I know what the knockoffs look like, and I know what the actual one looks like that's worth a lot of money. So that's the case with anything. That was what else I was going to try and tell you guys about too, is reverse engineering stuff in your local area, to where you go into eBay and you search like UGG boots and hit on the highest prices and start looking down for the boots that have sold for the most money. Find out what Uggs look like, or this in any brand, but I'm just talking about UGG. You start looking for those, and then you jump over to OfferUp, LetGo, your local venues, type in UGG, and then just start scrolling down until you see those pictures that look familiar from the eBay that you know are worth a lot of money. That's actually reverse engineering it and trying to find the stuff that's worth money because you found pictures on eBay. And then you're trying to do the same thing in OfferUp and LetGo. So that's just a way to reverse engineer.
Yeah, I was just say about the chair, like, and with anything, you're looking at the item, like you're trying to learn about and strollers too, like anything really, but you find those distinct things.
Yeah.
And once you know them, like you can kind of pick them out. And if you were to go, say somebody's 20, like you mentioned this earlier, if somebody's 20 minutes away, I might take the time to go check it out. If it might make me $800,
Exactly.
like it's worth 20 minutes to go learn. And then if I get there and it's not the right brand, or it's not on there, then, because you can look when you're in person, like say if you can look for the brand, and if it's not there, then be like, okay, sorry, thanks for your time, and that's it. You're not obligated to go buy it.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing that you want to do too, if you do have a brand name, but you don't have the model, I always jump into Google if I have a brand name. Say it is like that stroller we were talking about, the jogger stroller. You type in the brand name and then pull up images in Google. Start strolling through and find the exact image that you found in OfferUp. And that's how you can pick apart models, and then you can get a model from a picture that you find on Google. That's a way that you can actually cross-reference and stuff. There's a lot to this, guys. It's not just, hey, it's not just like making money really, really quick. You have to give yourself an education on that stuff. So it takes a little bit of time to get familiar with it, but you start mastering a stroller, like a Bob stroller. Melissa and I can look on any picture, and we don't have to look at the title. We don't have to look at anything. We know what Bob strollers look like just by how they look. You guys saw I picked a couple of them out without even knowing. I just click on them because I know what they are. Even the older brands. You guys can get that way by just doing some research, spending some time researching and figuring out the qualities or the characteristics of those items that you're finding. And the more knowledge you build, knowledge is money, guys. when you know more, you can get through stuff quicker. Yeah, it just cuts your learning curve for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. I've not had any luck finding cooktops in my area, high prices in my area. And that might be something like on OfferUp. I don't know if you've looked at flea markets and thrift stores. Thrift stores, we've had some good luck at
A
thrift
lot of
stores
people
with
donate cooktops.
because they upgrade their own and then they just donate them.
Yep.
So we've found a couple at thrift stores.
Yep.
So it might be worth checking out your
For
thrift
sure.
store to see if they have any there.
Yeah, don't go on one venue, guys. We have so much
Right.
technology at our fingertips now. Use all those apps. Use your local venues. Use all that kind of stuff. Build some routines into your day that set you up for success. Like I said, you can learn this business and you can make some great money. Melissa and I don't source half of the time now that we had to when we started because we built relationships. We know where to jump onto. I know our OfferUp is by far the best place to source for me out of any of the other apps.
Spend more time in OfferUp
Exactly.
than anything.
I love how easy it is to source OfferUp. I love it. And the more I do it, the better I get at sourcing OfferUp. So you might be Craigslist. Throw Craigslist into a picture just like OfferUp, where it's a picture format, and if you're scrolling through pictures the same way, because Craigslist is the most active in your area, do the same exact thing. The more you get familiar with it, the better you'll get at it, the more money you'll make.
Yeah, and I would pick a couple of like, you don't want to get overwhelmed because there's so many different items out there. So I would pick 2 or 3 categories to start with. Like we talked about, starting with what you know.
Yep.
You know, if it's instruments, if it's, you've talked about hair products,
Yeah.
or if it's whatever, like the things you know, baby items, because you're in the baby phase, you know the brands, like you know what's worth money. That helped us a lot. Like when we had kids, we had no idea about baby items before the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then now, like, we know what brands are expensive. Then start with like 2 to 3 categories and then start expanding like 1 category at a time. And that'll help you so you don't feel overwhelmed. So.
It's the same thing as you heard me talk about Bo. Bo's been through Flipper University. We love Bo. He's amazing. But he knows 2 things really, really well. It's instruments and shoes. Now, Bo could go through those and just pick, touch an instrument, see the title or the name brand, and he'll know quickly by looking at the pictures if it's just like he did for us. He can do the same thing with shoes. He knows that stuff. He knows it up and down, so he can make money at that. And then when he wants to expand and go into bigger items and stuff like that, he can do that as well. It just takes more learning and getting more experience in those other areas. But he's really, really good at those 2 areas for sure.
So yeah, it's definitely finding those niches for you, what it is that you like, and not get overwhelmed, because I know it can be very overwhelming.
It is, but it's just spending some time in a couple, like you said, a couple categories and trying to get better at those categories, and then don't discount anything. I mean, you scroll through and find something that looks expensive, jump on it.
Yeah.
So,
already 10 minutes over.
All right, guys, we want to respect your time, guys. Thanks for jumping on here. Thanks for everybody, all the great questions throughout the week, guys. Whatever you're sourcing and doing, throw quite more questions in there. Whatever we can help with while you're sourcing, let us know.
Yeah, we had that one girl, post the $250 sleep number. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did
at the beginning. And it's just not like $250 is still kind of a lot for us to be worth it to flip. So.
I personally wouldn't spend that on a sleep number. I would stay in the area. If it was a really good one, I might go up to $75, maybe $100. But for the most part, I like to be down into the $40, $50 range with that kind of stuff. So a lot of mine and Melissa's, we don't invest in super high dollar stuff unless I know I'm going to make a couple $1,000s on it. If it's just the normal, you're going to make a couple $100s. I don't want to invest a lot of money into inventory. I don't want to do that. I don't want it to break me. So that's something to keep in mind for sure while you're sourcing.
How much you spend on vacuum cleaners?
The last one we sold, I got out of the trash can. So on one of our walks.
We sold it for $80.
But if you know vacuums, you can make a lot of money on vacuums. On Dysons, there's a lot of different great vacuums that people use for a little while and they'll throw them away or they'll just discount them. A belt goes bad, they'll throw it away, put it on the side of the road, you can grab it, or even if you buy it and they say it's not working. But that's just one of those areas that I don't know that much about, that you can definitely get some, educate yourself on. The most expensive, the newest models out there.
There's some good ones.
There is. So you can make, if you specialize in that, you can make some great money in vacuums for sure.
But you mentioned a brand last week. Kirby's might be the brand.
Well, Kirby, Rainbow,
Kirby and
Dyson. Yeah, all of those. If you see Rainbow, Rainbow's a super, super high end. Kirby is what we pulled out of the trash. We sold, I don't know, 6 months ago as well. That we pulled out of the trash, and we didn't even know if it worked, but we made $80 on it. So yeah, there's a lot of great brands out there. If you stick with the high ends, like I see Rainbow vacuums and Kirby vacuums because they're big, they're well made. I see those all over the flea markets, local venues, and you can usually get them fairly cheap. So yeah, like I
And
said, if
people
you
still want them, even used, because they're good.
exactly,
They hold their
if
value.
you want to specialize in those, I would never turn my nose up at a Rainbow or a Kirby if I saw it at the flea market
And
and
Dyson.
it was cheap. And Dyson, yeah, if it was cheap. So yeah, for sure, vacuums are a great place to start. Plus, most of them you can take a handle off, you can take it apart. Even if you can't, you can still throw it into a 15, 45 box, and it will still ship FedEx, UPS, stuff like that. So that's a great place to start.
Homework same as last week. Yes, we didn't even ask about what you guys sourced last week. So go throw that into the Facebook group. Let us know that you looked up your items, your 3 items, you found them, what you could make from them. And yeah, now go look at LetGo. Like, so last week was OfferUp, this week is LetGo. So download the app if you don't have it on your phone, see if it's active. Like, check it out. If it
That's one of your homeworks for this week. Let me know which one is better for you guys right now, LetGo or OfferUp.
Yeah.
Post it in the group. We want to know which one's better for you. I want to see what the difference is in the different areas, what our ratio is. If LetGo is posting, you got a lot more postings in LetGo that's giving you better, what's the word I'm looking for? You have more items to choose from, a better range of items. So
a good way to test that is, so you go into OfferUp, you go scroll, like count how many times you scroll down, check it. Is it a month? Then you go to the next one, you scroll, 5 months. Like, that one's not as good. So that's a way to check.
Yep.
So just post that in the group. Let us know.
Yep. That's what we want to know. So definitely do that. And then, yeah, for sure. Any other questions you guys come up with, post in the group. Can't wait to catch up with you guys next week. Sorry, Melissa and I are a little tired tonight. We'll be back on top of the world next week. So
I tried to do a 5:45 a.m. workout class yesterday, and it killed me this week already.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know why.
All right, guys, you guys rock. We'll talk to you soon. You guys have a great night. And like I said, we can't wait to see you next week. Post everything you guys, any questions you guys have or any of those finds you guys get, posted in the group, and we'll talk soon.
All right.
You guys rock.
Good night. Thanks for being on.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.